Hi everyone, I'm Elvin. Today I would like to discuss about Canoe Polo. If you all have any knowledge about Canoe Polo, please feel free to comment downwards. Without wasting our time, I would like to talk more about what is Canoe Polo. Canoe Polo is also known as Kayak Polo. These sports combines boating and ball handling skills from the players. Tactic, position play, fitness are very important in these sports. These games also require excellent teamwork and promote both canoeing skills. As you all can see, these are the equipment needed for canoe polo. Amongst them are helmets and guards, canoe polo ball, buoyancy aids, canoe polo kayak, wetsuit, and paddles. Now let me go into deeper on this equipment. One of them is Canoe Polo Kayak. It's an equipment that brings the players from one location to another locations. It's made of composite materials like carbon and clear. Why we use carbon? Because it can provide lighter of the polo kayak, and the clear it has high heat resistance. While for the polyester materials is more cheaper. That's why person like me, non-professional players are suitable to use because the price is more cheaper compared to the composite materials. As you all can see from the picture, the bow and the stern of the kayak has smaller area and curve, and this can overcome the resistance from the water. And it also have a big cockpit space for the players to insert their leg inside the kayak so that and cover it with spreadeck. While for the pedals, it used to pull and push the water. It also can use to control the direction of the kayak, and it also possible to use to control and block the ball during the competition. And it must be light, and the carbon fiber is the best choice of materials for pedals, and the length is between 2 to 2.1 meter. While for the helmet and the face guard, it mainly used to protect the face and the head of the players, and the temple and the base of the screw need to be protected by the helmet, while the face guard is used to protect the face and the nose of the players. And this thing costs us around 25 pounds, while for the buoyancy aid is used to make sure the players float at the water all the time when they fall into the water, and it is easy to let them to back to the initial position in a short time, and this item cost us around 35 pounds. While for the wetsuit is used to keep the player warm during the game. As we know, in Europe, the water temperature is around 16 degrees Celsius, and wetsuit is used to provide the water from contacting with the body of the player. And canoe polo ball is made by using a buoyant materials to allow the ball float on the water all the time. And the cover is textures to give better grip for the players. And the size for women are different, 68 to 71 cm in circumference for men, and 65 to 67 cm in circumference for women. Now, I would like to talk more about the pitch for canoe polo. As you can see, 35 meters length and 23 meters wide. And Jostle's area is the position for the two teams to start the game, and one of the players sprint to the center to snatch the ball. Who snatch the ball first, it will perform the attacking strategy. While for the sub area is the position for the substitution players to wait for their turns to change and go into the pitch. While while in canoe polo is played by two teams on the rectangular pitch, for example, swimming pool and open water like lake. Now I would like to explain more about regulation for Canoe Polo. Each team consists of 5 players and up to 3 substitutes. The winning teams, of course, is the team that scored the most goal. And the goal is considered when the goal passes through the goal frame. And a game comprises of 2 10 minutes half plus allowance for timeout and break between half. If one of the team members accidentally make the ball out, either on the sideline or end line, if at the sideline, throw in is given. If at the end line, corner throw is given. Well, for now, I will talk about comments from the players during the game, and the illegals. One of them is illegal position. Is the players must dispose the ball within 5 seconds, either by passing or throwing the ball. And illegals kayak tackles that is about the opponents cannot makes the position of the goalkeeper change by having collisions and accidentally tackles the opponent's head or body is not permitted. Tackling a player's not within 3 meters of ball is also not allowed. And illegal use of the pedals when blocking the ball with a play pedals hitting the opponent's body is also not permitted. Illegal holding is a players that not allowed to gain support by placing their equipments or hand on the opponent's equipments or body. Illegal substitution is the players must completely off the pitch. Just then, the new players can go into the pitch. And these are the referee signs that all the players should know to know what the decisions of the referees, and this can make the flow of the game go smoothly. Now I will talk more about the tactic for Canoe Polo. It's divided into defensive tactic and offensive tactic. For now, I will talk about defensive tactic, which is formation 3-1. 3 players will form a row above the keepers, and this can provide a very solid defensive line on both sides and middle parts. Another players will patrol at the top zone with the aim to pressuring the ball. While for the formation 2-2 is 2 players covered in front of the goalkeeper to avoid the opponents have a good position to attack. And other 2 players is going to give pressure to the ball and to the opponents. While for the formation 5 or out is every players including the goalkeeper mark each of the opponents and pressure the balls to force them to make mistake. This situation will happen normally we are in the losing condition. While for the offensive tactics is amongst them overload, and overload is about 1 or 2 players will attack to the defensive line to disrupt their defensive line and make them blur, and this will create a space for a third player to go into a good position and receiving a player from the fourth players, and the third player can perform the shot at a good position. While for the box players is the players who always place himself in a near to the goal post while they are performing the attacking strategy, and they normally will receive a quick pass from their members, and he can perform a shot near the post, so it have high advantages for him to score the goal. While for the star formation is the attacking players need to sprint and pass the ball around to make the opponent's defenders blur, and the defensive players have to block the opponents as they sprint into the opponent's zones. And the fifth players, if this did well, and the fifth player will go into a better positions and receive the ball from their partners, and the fifth player can perform the shot at a good position. As for now, these are the picture of formation that I can figure out. For defensive tactics is the 3-1 formation, 3 defender in front of the keeper and 1 front, and for the 2-2 formation, 2 defender in front of the keeper and 2 front. And for the formation 5 or out is each of the player need to march each of the opponents. This formation used in different situations. While for the offensive tactic is the formation overload, which is the attacking players will make their defensive lines blur, and this will create a space for another player to score a goal. While for the box player is the person who plays himself at a good position in front of the goal to score a goal at a good position. As for now, I really appreciate that you're still following me. If possible, please feel free to comment downwards and tell me about your experience and knowledge about Canoe Polo. Once again, thank you.